All right. Good morning. It's been a couple weeks. Oh, wait, let's check to make sure my audio sounds right. I haven't done this in a couple weeks. How do we sound? A little, tin? Hmm. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That sounds better. Okay. So, sorry I missed a couple weeks. It's been 3 Fridays, 3 weeks since I was on. If you guys remember at the end of the last time I was on, I said that I might miss a week uh, for a training. So my job, I work as a software engineer, obviously. My job required the people on my team to get a certification called the Security Plus. It's put on by this company called CompTIA. I had to do this. So my company paid for the people on my team to go do this a boot camp for this certification, and so that was intense. I hadn't done a boot camp like that before, and so it was like kind of nonstop, uh, 8 to 5 each day. We got a break for lunch, but we were getting trained by a guy who that was his job to teach people Security Plus, and the whole thing, the purpose of this certification is to verify your knowledge around networks, network configurations, uh, how you can verify that like there's intrusions or where to go for logging and a bunch of different stuff. But it was super good. Um, just very mentally draining. It was 5 straight days. Uh, by the end of Friday, I was feeling dead. I was struggling. My brain capacity was just not there. And I just got done so late on Friday that I just didn't have time to come on and do any of this. And then the other thing was that following week I had to actually take the exam. So I had to go. I actually went to a in-person testing facility and sat for an hour and a half on it was on a computer exam for this. Thankfully, I was able to pass. So that's a certification that I added to my LinkedIn and resume and whatnot, showing that I have that certification, which is really good. It's a big deal, especially in the field that I work in, and it's good for 3 years, so I don't have to worry about it for a while. So that's kind of where I have been the last couple weeks. After I finished that boot camp, my brain, I had to kind of readjust and take some time to figure out where I had left off on this project and getting it up to speed and like figuring out where I wanted to go next. So, if we actually look, so we're on the Git repository, we can see that I have some merges, pull requests that I merged since we were last online. So a couple ones that I did, I went through and I figured out where I had left off with the AI integration, integrating with ChatGPT. What I ended up doing with this is not implementing a much of this ChatGPT domain. I kind of left it as boilerplate for right now. And the idea is that I will come back and fill this in when I have a better handle on exactly what type of functionality I want. The main purpose of this story originally, was to just get it set up, get the model for it set up in the background. It was this story. I wanted to create the model for it to keep track of everything. So actually the implementation of the domain, I felt I didn't have clear vision on where I wanted to go with it yet. And so that's kind of why I left it with just implementing the database model. And I did include some of this because I had some good notes in here in terms of what I want it to look like eventually, but I didn't want to slap something together and it not be what I wanted. I did end up renaming this model that's going to be used to track or to record conversations. I changed it from AI chat log to just chat log. I just didn't like the name. The name was killing me, so I did change that. What else is in here? Our migrations to support some changes. I did add some references in these foreign keys to add some related names for fields. And we have the 2JSON thing that we added for a lot of the models to support the AI integration. Oh, this was another one that I found. So I was running into an issue on some of my tests that I didn't want the start time and stop time for a workout to be on ad. I wanted it to be something that the user could provide if they wanted to. If not, we would fill it in. But it ran into an issue where if you provided a default here of like timezone.now, like I have here, there's something weird. Oh, sorry. There's some interesting behavior in the way that Django works, that this time gets calculated in a weird way when it's provided as a default. So by creating a little method like this and passing in time zone not now, it gets calculated every time instead of once, if I remember correctly. And so that was the reason for this change. I did do a bunch of conversions to use timezone.now instead of datetime.now in some tests in various places. Oh, I need to rename this. This is named incorrectly. Whoops. Something I missed since I'm the reviewer. Got rid of that. Time zones. Test exercise. And this is for the model. I added a bunch of tests within the models now because each of them are creating records. What is this? Oh, that's weird the way it does that. Since the models now actually have some stuff, they have a 2JSON, so I added tests for each of those and I had to set them up. No problem. Got rid of, what is this? Oh, another date time issue that I changed. and I added time delta. Oh no, I didn't add that. That was already there. And then I added an environment or a setting to capture the ChatGPT API key, which I'm storing in an environment variable. So there's that guy. Let's see. Can I just do that? Can. So another thing that I figured out or thought about a lot the last 2 weeks. So at my actual job, my standard 6:30 to 4:30 job that I work, I have been doing a lot of coding standards and coding style, doing research on how other companies do it, what's kind of the recommended best practices for Python. Um, so I've been doing a lot of reading up on best practices and that kind of stuff. So one thing that I really read about that I found really interesting that I really liked. Let's actually see if we can find it. If I could type. Google actually has their Python coding standards online and it's available just to be used, to be seen. And I really read through this pretty extensively and enjoyed the information that they have in here, and it really helped me think through some of my decisions that I've been making and going forward with that. So, hey, how's it going? My Friday's going pretty well. It's a little, I live in Florida, but I don't know what it is. This morning when I woke up, it was like 40 degrees outside, and I'm like, this is way too cold. I can't handle that. So with some of the coding stuff that I've been reading, especially the Google one, because their documentation, this one is great. It's super well detailed. It gives good examples on like yes and no's. They give a lot of description into why they chose different things. And so one thing that I realized that I was doing with the domains and the domain driven design that I was doing was I was having all these static methods. And that's just me. My formal background, like in college and where I learned, I spent a few years doing Salesforce as a Salesforce developer. And in college, I did Java, right? Salesforce is basically Java. I did Java in college. That's where most of my formal education is. A lot of my Python experience is kind of just like reading, reading code, doing it myself, seeing what other people are doing, what's kind of like industry standard, that kind of stuff. So I don't really have any formal education in it, or I guess training on how I should be writing it. And so I realized that by having like all these static methods, I was basically trying to fit the Python into Java format. And I didn't want to do that. So I'm pretty sure they have it in here. Yeah. They really make a big thing about like, hey, please do not use static methods. You really shouldn't be using static methods. It really is just not helpful. Never use static method unless forced. So that really kind of gave me the idea or the realization that, hey, by having all these methods in like the different files was enough of a separation or like encapsulation of that functionality into a module without having to then wrap it in a class on top of it. So you'll see this pull request I went through. I changed all of my domains to no longer be classes. to just be a module with a set of methods associated with them. And what I've done is to support like backwards compatibility and some of the I don't know, some of the domains. Like we have the set domain, I can't import set, right? Because set is a Python keyword, it's a reserved word. So in order to support that, what I've done is all of my imports now are like from awaken fit domains, import the file that I'm working with, and then as the original domain class name that I was using before. So we'll see here, like this one, import user as user domain, and then anytime I reference user, it's user domain, like that. So I went through and I changed all of these. I got rid of the init, and the idea with that is was reading a lot more about like relative imports, which I find to be really helpful and nice. It's really not the best practice. You really should use like full path imports, because it's just like a little bit cleaner to track in terms of traceability and what's getting loaded. So that was another big thing I went through and updated in this request. Let's see. So I did retain any of these error messages. They're now just like constants at the top level of the module, that are still accessible for me, which is perfect. Is there anything else groundbreaking that I changed in this pull request that I remember? Another thing is I simplified some of these imports. If they're coming from the same module, it makes sense to go ahead and do a single line import for a lot of them. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. I had a tree taken out in my yard over this week, and so the company was coming by today to pick up all the debris, because it's like you can't even see the street from my house because there's this tree it was this huge oak tree. The problem was it was right up against my house, and so I was worried that it was the roots and everything were going underneath the house and causing some problems. So let's see if there's anything else that's really interesting in here in terms of rework. Oh, here's a great example. So this is kind of what I was talking about, where I had to import all of them as their file name, but then I'm using them as the original domain name that I had specified as the class. I really don't think there's anything else super interesting in here. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to this one. And then finally, kind of where I am right now, if we remember, the goal with this project was to make this into a mobile app. I wanted it to be something I could have on my phone. Like, I work out in the garage. I don't want to have a website open on my laptop or something while I'm tracking. So what I did was I spent some time reading on React Native. If you're not familiar, React Native is pretty cool. I haven't really done anything with it. One of my jobs, we did do some React Native, but I'm like not a UI person. So I was not tasked with anything on it. It was mostly, hey, please go check this out and be familiar. And if you have questions, we'll talk to the UI people. So this is going to be new for me, but I did get React Native set up in the repository. I set it up so it's tied to my phone. So like I have a version of my app. You guys can't really see it, but I have like a version of what I've been working on. It's on my phone, and I'm trying to get that set up. So this is I'm using a tool called Expo. Expo is a like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a build platform, I guess, for React Native. It gives you a lot of nice to haves. It helps with routing. It helps with generating the artifacts that you're going to need to submit to like the Apple App Store, to the Android market, and that kind of thing. It gives you like a development suite. Let's see. Do I have my command prompt here? So like there's a little command prompt that you get, and you can launch the different stuff, and it like gives you a nice little thing and a QR code for me to launch the app, which is cool. So I was able to get that set up in the project, and it came with this like example app that I kept just kind of to use as a reference because I really don't know what I'm doing with UI. So I kind of kept that just as a thing. I did upload some icons that I had generated or made as part of this. And then a lot of this is just kind of boilerplate that comes with Expo. So I really think that gets us caught up on where I've been the last 2 weeks. Perfect. Let us see. So currently, I'm working on this user story to get all auth set up. So there's a library in Django, or not in Django, in Python. That's for Django. It's called Django all auth. Let me see. I have it open somewhere. Not that. It's been around for a while. It's a pretty big project, and it seems to be pretty well respected in terms of usage and like adoptability and everything. The only thing is like I have not really built or used these kind of libraries before, so I'm going to be learning quite a bit in terms of managing credentials on the client side, sending them to the server. How do I like make sure I'm not leaking tokens, that kind of stuff. So there's a bunch of security implications around connecting like this that I need to be getting up to speed on and trying to get familiarized with, so that way I'm trying to be secure. I mean, for the most part, I'm going to be using this, but like I want to develop the app properly, right? And so the other thing too that I need to be aware of is that React Native, it does support iOS and Android, but it also supports web. So if I want to deploy my project to the web, I have different security considerations around web versus mobile. So I need a Expo does a good job of helping me identify when the user is using it on web versus mobile. So like it helps me separate some of the logic. But it is something that I, as a developer, need to be aware of the differences in how to handle those situations. So let's get started, or pick up where we are so far. So I am not a UI person. My UI designing is very limited and not ideal. I would not put on my resume that I am a UI professional. Like, I can make UIs and they'll work, but they are definitely going to be not pretty. They'll be functional, but just not pretty. So, I've been trying to learn about this and like how I can use it. Um, the trick or the workflow I'm trying to work on right now, and where we're gonna pick up, is I have my Django server running. Let's pull the terminal back up here. So my Django terminal session is server development server is running. I don't know why that says broken pipe. Let's just restart the server just in case. Okay, my Django server is running. I have my Expo session or development server running as well. And so what I'm trying to do is I want to set up a login page in React Native that will call Django with the credentials that I type in, and it will return a token for me to use and to store. So that's kind of where we are. So if you've never used Expo, and I am learning all of this, so who knows if I'm doing it right. One thing that I found really interesting is like in React itself, if you've ever done React, you typically have a router which handles all your routes, and it links URLs to components that are in the browser, and then that's how it figures out what component to display to the screen. Expo, which is what I'm using, does it a little bit different. So they create this app folder, and inside the app you have a layout guy, and the layout basically defines how to render the other files in the app folder. So here I'm defining it as a stack, which means like as screens are clicked on, they get added to the stack. So I'll start with nothing, and then I add something, and then keep going, right? And the idea is that users can click the back button, and anytime the back button is clicked, it'll remove the top thing off the stack until you have nothing left. And so that's kind of what's going on here. So these layout files define the layout of the folder in which they're in. So this defines the layout of the overall app. And then inside the app, I have this thing within parentheses, I guess. I think that's right. Parentheses in the folder name gives it like special abilities kind of thing. It React Native will, or I guess Expo will treat these folders different than the just normally named folders. And so in this one, inside this app, I have another layout, and this layout is interesting because it actually does some logic to check if I have an authenticated session. And so what I've done is I've already created an authentication context, which is it's a context provider. And so essentially the context provider gives me knowledge across my components when a state changes. So what happens is the context provider is aware of how I'm storing session details, and it will update any component that is using it with that relevant information. Hopefully that made sense. So the idea is I have this context provider. It contains information about, is the user viewing this authenticated already? Have they logged in? Do they have a session token that I can use? If they do, anybody that's doing this use session will have this session attribute filled in or populated, and I can react based off of that. And so this app layout it's saying, are we loading? Okay, we'll return the splash screen here, like, or this loading text, like they say. And if I don't have a session, I'm going to redirect the user back to the login page. If not, they can view anything within this app folder. So if I had another file in here, we could call this like home, or I guess it would be index.tsx. And since I really have no idea what I'm doing, we're going to copy this. And we'll call this index. And we'll just get rid of all this stuff. We don't need anything right now. We'll keep that. And we'll just put, welcome, you're logged in. We don't need, oh wait. We do want the color scheme, so let's grab this because this is actually helpful. There. Okay, so essentially what'll happen is this loadout or layout will load. It will say, do I have a session associated with this user? If I don't, I'm going to send them to the login screen. If not, I'm going to let them see the stack in this folder and they'll get redirected to this welcome, you're logged in page. Cool. So what I've done is make probably the world's ugliest login page. It's very basic. Has a sign in at the top, email, password, and I did some like styling. I was trying to figure out how that works, and just kind of set that up. So be amazed at how ugly this is. You can't even read the text because it's so bad. So we have this nice charcoal background and a nice bright orange button. But we're using the safe, man, this freaking headphone cable. We have the safe headspace or header thing up here at the top. And that's why that looks like that. And then we have, oh man, that's literally impossible to read. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix that. Let's do this. We are going, where am I? We're just gonna go ahead and do global styles dot light container, and that'll change that. Perfect. Look at that. That was easy. We're gonna change it so we can see. And so we can actually see here, look, it doesn't, you can't see it whether I type, which is perfect. So what do we want to do here? So right now, when the user clicks the login button, we're gonna come up here and we're gonna call this login function. We're gonna display to the log. It's actually open. I should probably update this at some point. And by this I mean the Google Chrome, because it's complaining that, oh my gosh, it's complaining that it's out of date. Look at all these errors. What in the world? Oh, I think this was from before. Let's do a fresh restart with this browser. Cool. All right. So if we actually type in here, if we do my email, I don't know why it's yelling. What the heck? Chrome extension, error file not found. I have no idea what that is. Okay. So we see it calls our guy. That's perfect. But now is the interesting thing. We need to see how the what the OAuth endpoints look like for for our for logging in. So OAuth, not OAuth, AllAuth, Django AllAuth, it has this headless feature, and so which is cool. It gives you endpoints for sending data for logging in. So it gives you like a REST API that that builds on top of your stuff and gives you like some basic functionality. Um, let's look. I forget. I wish it just told me what the endpoints were that it generated, but I don't believe it does. So what we can do, let's do come here. Oh gosh. Oh no. I have all this extra text from, oh man, what the heck? Delete. We want, I think it's underscore AllAuth. No. Oh, it is all underscore AllAuth. Is that right? So let's actually go to /accounts. Why am I getting this issue? Is it, do I need a trailing slash? Ah, I see. Because I added Google as a thingy, as like a option. So let's do underscore AllAuth and do browser. Oh, okay. There has to be a better way to do this. Let's look. Oh, they do have a, hopefully you guys can't hear it, but they're going crazy outside picking up all these trees. So AllAuth is nice. It has like this little demo that you can come into and you can check it out. I'm pretty sure they updated this. This is like, it's a little different from before, but it's very nice. And it kind of gives you this cool little tutorial. This does not help me for what I'm trying to look for. I believe I have, yes. So it also comes with these sample projects, which is helpful. And so under the Django AllAuth and they use this Codeberg. I've never used that before, but they use it here. So under the project, they have examples. Under examples, they have a React single page and then a regular Django one. So we're doing something based on single page application. So let's look at the front end. They did define in here a list of the URLs somewhere. I think it's in here, but I don't remember. Let's see. Account login. So let's try that. Where am I? Wait, is that right? No, I have so many things open. Close this. Half of these are like, no, see, these are the paths that are defined in the app. These are all defined within the router. Because they're using a single page application, so it's a little bit different. See, they have a router, and in the router, they have all these account login, and it points you to the login guy. So these are all based off of that. So let's actually, I think I know I found this before. Oops, I need to be on source. I think it's under here. Maybe it's not. I think this is where I just was. Oh, they have this. Oh, navigate. Okay. So that's not what we want. We want, is it this? Because this is where I think use config. Oh, this is where we use the, nope. Go back. I think it's in this lib guy, because there's a auth, all auth here. Yeah. And I believe this has, yes. So this has, it tells, creates this object. It has two states, app or browser. And then it has the all auth, this guy, which is what we want. Okay. So this is giving us the URLs based off of the routes, which we don't want. But I don't. Oh, okay. URLs. Where is this URLs guy coming from? So login is a post, and it uses this login, and it uses data. So let's look at URLs. But this doesn't make sense to me, because it's using this. Oh. So let's go to... Okay, so here's the path. Where are we using path? I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. It's using the base URL plus the path for calculating where to go. Okay. So it's looking here at the setting, where to go? This guy for the base URL. So if we actually go up here and we go to all auth browser v1, we do auth slash, oh geez, wrong thing. What was it? Auth login. We should be able to go there. So let's actually look. 405. See, it's throwing an error that it's the wrong method. Method not allowed for this. So I should be doing a post to this endpoint. Okay. Got it. So I feel like I actually understand what I'm doing now. Not completely, but I think I need to build something similar to this because I need to have logic around the type of client that I'm connecting with. So one thing I know I'm immediately going to run into as an issue is I'm running this on the same server, or both the REST, the React Native front end, and the Django backend are running on the same host, which is why they're doing this CSRF, which is cross-site request forgery token. And the whole point of the CSRF token is to prevent essentially a man-in-the-middle attack. The idea is that they want to make sure that the people's tokens are all unique, and it prevents like somebody hijacking the token and like hijacking your session. And there's a few things, I forget exactly how it works, but it generates that unique thing. If you've done Django templates, they request, or I don't know if they require it, but it's highly encouraged on any templates that you're having a form that users can put data into. You do the CSRF token in the double curly brackets in the template to like prevent these kind of issues. Um, so I know already if I try to do a post from my IP to the host to like the Django process, it's gonna yell at me, and it's gonna tell me, "Oh, prevented because of cross-site forgery." Da 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 da. So that's kind of annoying. Um, I don't know if I need all of this. Like, this is so much. But maybe I do. Maybe not all of them, because I don't really care about all of these. Oh my gosh. But I do think I need this stuff, at least most of this. So let's go ahead and grab this guy, because I feel like this is going to be needed for what we're going to want. Now, these aren't components, so I don't need to put them in the apps, the app folder. So I have this auth guy that I've already started making. We'll call this all auth just to follow what they had. We'll do that, save. So let's think. We also need I think we need all this stuff. Copy all this stuff. Save. Let's format it to be better, because it's like it's not what we want yet. There has to be a way, maybe somebody knows, for me to be able to make this into like an object that I can provide parameters to. Because right now it's like, there has to be a way, right? But then how does that... See, this is where I'm not a JavaScript person. I don't know it like that. Is there a way that I can pass this a parameter, one of these, and it just like that instance of the object lives in this file? I don't know how that works. Let's look back here. They have like I think they have a setup function at the bottom. They do. Oh, I see. So you call the setup and it edits the settings. So let's do that. We'll add this guy at the bottom. Why is it yelling? Oh man, it's because it's TypeScript, so I need to specify the types. String, or no, this isn't a string, it's a client. This is a string. And this is a Boolean? What is with credentials? Boolean. Did I do that right? No idea. Did you mean type of client? I don't know what I mean. Gonna get rid of that for a second. Oh, sorry, one more second. I think they're done picking up the tree. All right, my bad. The so I had the tree come down, or I had the people come cut down the tree, and then another company was coming today to pick up all the leftovers. So they were they were trying to get payment, but they're having some issues, so they're gonna send me an invoice on the email, I guess. Uh, okay. So we'll be able to call this setup guy, and it will edit our settings, and we can tell it what client we want. How do I specify this as like an object? Can I? I don't know how that works. I'm gonna export this as default. I guess I don't, because I'm on TypeScript. That's why it's complaining about this. Quick fix. Infer. Whatever. Oh, but now this is yelling. String is not assignable to type browser. Because this is a object. I don't understand. Oh, I don't want to reset this. I'm not going to take that as a parameter. We want to use the base URL that they're doing. Oh, I see. It's because, oh man. I think I want to have it. Man, this is when like Python's cool, because like I can do format and pass in a parameter that I want. Shoot. Oh yeah, so I won't do that. Let's do add our semicolons, that's fine. And then we'll do settings dot base URL equals, and we'll take this guy. We'll do that, and we'll do client. There. So now we don't have to keep track. But the thing is, I can't figure out what I need to do here. Like, what does this need to be for a type? Let's Google. Type script. Oh. Hinting. Object. Oh, Jesus. This isn't helpful. Oh, person. Type hinting. Function type hinting of object. Maybe. Let's see what Gemini tells us. It tells us it's a person. Oh, but it's not really it's an enum, right? Isn't it? It's technically an enum because it's frozen. Yeah, it looks like that, doesn't it? Yeah. But it's not an enum. It's an object.freeze. What the heck is object.freeze? Object.freeze. No idea what that means. Okay. Oh, because it's a read-only property. So it makes this like a static class, I guess. Or a static object, so that way it can't be edited. Okay. Cool. But how do I reference that? That's the thing here. Oh, I wonder if I need to do client dot client. How do I? Oh man. How do I do this? Oh, is it gonna be like, do I need to do I probably need to do some kind of if or something. If client equals, oh wait, I think I need to put curly brackets. Client equals, um, browser. Oh geez, is it curly brackets in this? Settings dot client equals client dot browser. Else. I probably want to do app actually as the default. Oops. Dot client equals client browser. And then do that. Now why is it yelling at me? What? App is not assignable to type browser. Huh? What is it yelling at me about? And is that an actual error or is it like a view problem? What does that mean? Huh. I'm not sure what this is trying to tell me. So I have an object called settings, or it's like a JSON. Yeah, it's a JSON object, right? It's a client. Property client equals. Huh. This is where I'm not smart enough or experienced enough in JavaScript that I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what the issue is. I have no idea. So I have this settings that I'm exporting. Do I need to like add type hinting to let's look up. Type hinting. Helps if I spell it right. Type annotations. But if it's an object, I'm saying that client is type browser. Is that what this is saying? I thought it was saying that the value of client is client.browser. I don't want it to be, I want it to be a type of this, I guess. That's what it seems like I should be doing, right? So do I need var employee hover over client down? This one? So do I need to come up here and be like, what is this thing? Do I need to be like var settings and then define what settings looks like? Is that what this is suggesting? Oh, I don't need, oh, wait. Client What in the world? Do I do it like this? But am I not... So sorry, Juan. Am I not like just creating an object here? So I need to like... This is a JSON object, right? This is JSON notation. So it's just initializing an object with these fields, client, base URL with credentials, and the values for each of those are like browser, this string, and then a Boolean. So like, how do I specify the type on, oh geez. Const settings. So do I put it in the same line? This is so confusing. Like this? Ah, okay, so I do it. Actually, I'm going to look at this just to kind of give me an idea what the heck I'm doing. Okay, so then I would be like client. Oh, I see. So if I do like const settings. I don't know if I don't want it like that. Settings. Oops. So like this. And it'll be like client. Oh, okay. Browser app. And then base URL string. And then with credentials. Cool. Oh, it's called type. Oh, with type? Wait, that doesn't seem right. Oh, okay. Oh. U object types in TypeScript. U object types in TypeScript. Oh, okay. I see. All right. And then I can come here and then I say this is a settings. Like that. Ah! Look at us. I think I figured it out. Well, you figured it out, and I just look like a silly person. Okay, so now I've declared the type for the settings. It'll make sure that the client is either app or browser. The URL is going to be that string. Cool. And then down here, we will do setup and adjust our settings appropriately. Perfect. And this gives us the URLs that we care about. That will be appended to the end of this. Oh, cool. TypeScript completions. That is one nice thing about TypeScript over JavaScript. Now, what the heck was I even trying to do? Oh, yes. We were looking at this guy, the way that they're doing this in all auth. So they have all these freaking operations that, I mean, it's nice because it streamlines not having to like pass it in, I guess. I wonder if it's worth it for me just to like copy. I'm going to copy this. Use it as inspiration for the fact that I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. So this is going to be a string. This will be a string. This is an object. Or I guess, how does that... Oh man. Do. Headers. I wish I was more... What are options? Where did options is this guy? Why is it complaining? Oh. Oh man. See, this is where I'm gonna get in trouble, is this line. That's fine. I'm just adding my semicolons till I figure out what I need to do here. Okay. Let's put a note here. Need to figure out the CSRF token. Semicolon. So the idea with this method and the way that they're using it is it's supposed to provide a easier to access, or it's a hidden method on actually performing the call to our backend, our Django service, right? Because the idea is that instead I'm going to use one of these exports, right? Like there's going to be this one. And this is the one we care about right now that we're trying to get to work. So let's go ahead and do that. And is there anything in that's special with TypeScript in terms of like type hinting for what is a JSON object versus like a string? Is there anything different in that? Is that what you just call it object? Oh man. Interface person. So do I have to define it like that? But I don't really want to do that. Because I don't know, I guess, what all the data is going to look like. Or it's not going to be all the same for each of these operations. Login will have a different thing than logout's not going to have anything, right? It's not even taking data. But sign up is going to have different data than login. So that means the data going into this request guy is going to be different. So do I, excuse me, instead of having this generic request in this all auth library, do I instead have leave it up to the individual components for that? Because they're going to know what data they're getting, right? So should I just instead have something like this? Copy this guy. Should I have it here? Is that what I should be doing? I'm not sure. I am not sure. Because I like the idea of just having an easy entry point for the component to just call, like log in, log out, whatever, and all they care about is what the data that they send that they're supposed to be sending, and that they get the data back, like something back. I don't I don't like the idea that I want to abstract away the component having to know like the URL exactly that it needs to get, because of that logic where we're doing stuff in an app versus a browser. So having the all auth, this guy, take care of, I guess it's not even taking care of it, is it? Oh man, I knew this stuff was going to be complicated. What do I want to do? Because I can't. Because essentially, what I need to do. Actually, let's reset what I changed over here. There is a parameter in Expo. I had it open somewhere. It's called like platform. What? How handle platform different? Oh, I literally am open to it. I'm silly. Okay, so you can import platform, and then it gives you the ability to like, wait, doesn't it? It gives you, yeah, platform.os. .web. Okay. And I have to call that in a specific, because it's a hook, I believe. So I need to use it in a component itself. I can't use it in the, I can't use it over in all auth because this doesn't support hooks. So I believe what I want to do is do platform. And then I should be able to do do I do it here? Let's think. Platform.os doesn't equal web. We need to import the settings from allauth. Import settings. Or what do I do? Import settings. And we want setup, right? So man, I wish I had better understanding of like how this works. Do I need to even export this to get it? Or does by like, maybe that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to ask is like, okay, so I have this setting guy. When does this object get initialized? And does it really need to be exported? Do I need to have access to it to be able to call this, like, not that, setup? Or if I just export or import setup into here, will my thing get edited or like updated the way I think it will? See, JavaScript is so different than what I'm used to, so I'm not sure. Should I be doing this in a use effect block? I don't know. So let's just try it. We'll see what happens. If we do setup, that's not it. Setup, and we'll do, what is it? Platform. Let's do this. Const client equals platform dot os equals I want it to be browser. Do I not? Is that what I want? That drives me crazy that these are single quotes. I don't know what the pattern, like the standard is in JavaScript, if it should be single or double. If platform not what I wanted dot os doesn't equal web client equals, I can't do constant, this needs to be a var, equals app. No idea. Okay, so we're going to call setup, we're going to pass our client, and we'll pass true. Sure. Is that going to yell at me? Let's see. Ah, yes, because I have like a random thing over here. Okay. This is going to be a disaster. Do if path to URLs is not that, and we're in a browser, if we're in an app, try to get the session token if we get one. So we need to import our logic here. I believe this is what we want, because this is using the storage. Use storage session. That's a session provider. What was this guy's get token? Where is it? Get session token. Where is get session token defined? Oh, it's literally right there. Do I thought I had it. So this is, I'm trying to figure out all this. Oh, use token storage. It's right here. Okay. So I should be able, I don't need this, I don't think. I should be able in here. I should be able to do, where, dude. Import use storage state, and I should be able to do oh, I wonder if it makes sense for me to like because you see how over here they have like a default that they're providing for the token, and they're like wrapping it with this get session token. I wonder if I should do the same thing here. That's probably a good idea. We'll do that. Do that, and we'll do use storage state. But don't remember if that's the key that I'm using. Oh wait, I haven't done anything with this yet. Cause see, I need to have. So we want to do a. Do I have a remove? Oh, I see. They're doing a. Oh, okay, cool. So set storage item. But how do I do it over here in what I want? Platform web, it's going to use local storage instead of the secure store. But I'm only passing in a key. How does that work? Use callback. Now, shoot, I forgot where I found this. Like, got this from. Is like, oh man. I have so many tabs open. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. What's this? Nope. Close. I don't need code coverage. Let's close that. Close that. Don't need that right now. I got too many things open to keep track of what I'm trying to do. Was this what I was like? Oh, this is what I was trying to figure out the simulator. Ah, yes, this isn't doing anything yet. Shoot. What was it? Was it Expo? React, native, secure, storage? I think it was under here. Yeah. So you set it up. Not that. Not that. Usage. This is the secure store, get value. This doesn't look like what I did or where I got this from. Where did I get this from? Shoot. So what we need to do, and what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, I have this use. Oh, it gives me a hook as the return. That doesn't really tell me what I need to know though. It gives me a use state hook. Oh man. Which is up here defined as a type where it takes a Boolean or type nut. Oh god. And it returns nothing. Oh man. And we have set store, but I don't want that. Do I want to call that directly? I guess I could, right? Because that's essentially what remove is. Yeah, I'll just call that directly. So I'll do a set. So I think, where was I even? Oh man. Oh, it's this one. I was trying to replace this. So set storage item sync, and we're calling it session token, I believe. Session token, and the value is going to be null. Okay. And I guess I just want to do this. Oops. I I wonder if I should define this like session token guy, the key, as a static value somewhere. I feel like that would be helpful. I don't remember what this is doing, so let's comment this out for now. Because I think this is tied to some logic that I don't have. I'm not using anywhere. Okay. So it's telling me body does not exist. Why is it giving me a hard time about not having predefined stuff in this options? Is it because it's a constant? It must be. So if I change that to var, does that go away? No. Man, I wish I understood JavaScript enough to be able to figure out what it's doing or what it was letting, why, like what the issue is. Man. It drives me crazy that like half of these are single quote, half are double quote. So what does this need to be? Oh God. Spread objects. So how do I... Does this need to be any? Okay. But I'm not understanding why it's complaining about this still. Or that. An argument for headers was not provided. So if am I not able to like, I have to provide all of these arguments? Is that how it works? Like there's no optional parameters like in Python? Because it looks like this JavaScript file, they sometimes don't include headers. Because you see here, like data is the last one. Sometimes data is not even included because like you don't need data for logout. Then here's data. Do they ever? Oh, and then they provide headers here. Undefined. So do I just need to provide undefined as like the default if I don't want to include something? So let's do undefined, I guess. Let's see. Let's see. So if we have this guy over there. Let's come here. Let's also import login. Is that yep. And we'll call this login pressed. And we are going to do login. And we're going to call our data, which is going to be username. Or no, it's going to be email. And then we'll pass in password. We're going to see what happens. Hey, how's it going? Oh man, Ariano. Um, all right. So we've. Is this complaining about something? Let's control C this server and start it back up. See if it yells about something again. Okay. We should be able to come over here and do that guy. Let's type in my email. My 5 key is being weird. Oh, something happened. So let's see. Did we get a request over here? We did. Wait. I think that might have been, that was from before. It didn't do it. Login pressed, post, uncaught, unexpected. 404 not found. All auth browser, auth login. Oh. I'm so silly. I forgot to do something. I forgot to provide. I think this needs to be 192.168.1.10. Whatever the port number is that this is running on, which is 8,000. I think I forgot to do that. What's being used in the back end? I'm using a Django application as my back end. It's using. I'm trying to use a library written in Django written for Django called allauth to handle my authentication, and so I'm not having to bother with it. Why is it yelling that it's still using that? Do I need a refresh? Let's try it again. Why is my 5 key messed up? Test password 1. Okay, so it's still complaining about trying to go to localhost 8000, 8081. So how do I specify that as my client in the fetch? Fetch. Settings, base URL plus path. Proxy settings. So I know, so my back end eventually, once I get the authentication and like have the user tokens stored appropriately, I should be able to use a GraphQL. That's what I want to use. But right now I'm trying to hit a REST endpoint, and I know with GraphQL I can do this kind of thing. Oops. Or not this kind of thing. This kind of thing. This kind of thing. Where I create a provider and I pass it the client details. Is that a thing in JavaScript with fetch? I guess we'll have to look. That's not helpful. That's not really what I'm looking for. I wonder if do it down here. Where did it go? that gonna do anything? Don't know. I wish I'm terrible at this at JavaScript. Test. Ah. Oh. Uncaught. What did it yell about? Oh, the cores thing. So I actually hit the endpoint. See? So I actually hit the endpoint just now, which is good. That means we actually are hitting the Django backend. Oh, but it's yelling at me. Yeah, for cores. Has been blocked by cores policy response to pre-flight request doesn't pass access control. Oh, there's a way. Django settings allow cores. No, that's not what I want. I think oh, that's not what I want either. Oh man, what am I trying to do? You pass the configs on the front end. So what is it? JavaScript, fetch, cores. So that's just like that. Oh wait, this isn't the question. I'm silly. Yeah, you need to configure cores in your server. That's what I thought. Is that right? Can I go back? Hey, look, this guy is pretty much saying the exact same thing I'm talking about. Quest headers. Oh, is this how you pass default values in JavaScript, I guess? Huh. Just reading through what this guy is saying. Why is his text like 30 characters wide? That's crazy skinny. Oh, he's telling me to install this whole the course headers thingy. Let's see if it pops up as an issue on my phone. Because I do have this set up on my phone right now, so we'll see what happens. And I should be able to see the logs, so let's actually come over here and open that, and we'll do see what the log says. Okay, so that says that it pressed the login, but it's not actually sending a request. Login pressed, login. Let's do a console.log settings.client. Do that. Then we'll go back over here so I can see what it says. Oops. Okay, cool. So it did trigger that the setting is app, which is good. That's helpful. But why is it not trying to send anything? Post. Let's do a console.log data. I don't know what the data would be. And then we should be able to get here print, or not print. I think we should be able to get to that, right? Cool. Oh, okay. So data is test password, perfect, and a mangled version of my email. And options. Does this shouldn't return anything, I would think, because I don't have anything stored. Let's come back here. Is this doing a wait or something? Oh. Wait, did I do this wrong? Do I need to be like... Since this is a hook, that's not gonna work. Oh. Okay, it returns a state and a key. Oh. So I need to be like... state... No. How do I do this? Const... token set token equals use storage state session token, and then I should just be like return token, right? I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Still. I mean, it shouldn't be anything because I haven't stored anything. Let's try it again. Login pressed, email. Don't care, can get rid of that. I wonder if it's use storage state. Oh, I see. So wait, let me look actually back on this guy. So let's close. Jeez Louise. We were under lib. Nope, not what I want. I want. Is it? Wait. No. This isn't how they're storing the token. Where is the stuff for the. Oh, they're using token storage. I need to find that guy here. But this isn't the example that I was looking at earlier. Or this morning. So the thing is, I have this like this use storage state, which gives me this hook, which is supposed to give me the like the state variable, right? It's supposed to give me this back. But how do I just I'm not understanding how I use it, I guess. And do I really need, like, I shouldn't have to do this then. Because if I'm doing it like this, I should be able to just call this guy, I guess, here. And then I should be able to do set token null. Set token whatever the value is. Right? I mean, that makes sense to me. Now I have like the hook. Get session token. This should just be token, right? I think that's what I want. This should be just token, which I set up here. And I should be able to comment this out, I think. This is all new to me, so I'm trying to figure out if I do a console dot. Does that, can I do that? I honestly don't know. And I'm not getting anything. So do I need to like token? Can I do that? I feel like I should be able to do that. But it's not. Do I need to probably close and reopen the app? So what's happening here? Is this actually getting called, this request? So we see that we're calling this. Are we ever making it into this call to the request guy? I felt like we were seeing it earlier, but now I'm not seeing it in the log, so I'm not sure what's the deal. Okay, request called. But these aren't putting anything. So am I calling this incorrectly? Have to be, right? I need to figure out where I found this use storage state. Let's do React Native Expo secure storage use storage state. Oh, maybe it's in here. Yeah, I think it was in here. Create context. Ah, here it is. See, so set storage item. Is that what I have? Yeah. Okay. So how are they using this use storage state? Session provider. Use session. Use session. So use session from the CTX file, which is this guy. This hook can be used to access the user info. All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time off stream trying to do some more research on this. Like I said, this is all new to me. I haven't done a lot of this stuff. Anything like complex. So I'm trying to learn, so we're kind of going through this slowly, trying to figure it out. I appreciate the patience cuz this is different for me at least. But yeah, I plan definitely to be back by next week. Next Friday for sure. Maybe I'll do something tomorrow. My wife's out of town this weekend, so maybe we'll do another one if I can make some progress and figure this out a little bit more. Thanks everybody for hanging in there. I know it was a little slow and I had a couple interruptions with the tree people, but we'll get this going. It'll be interesting. If I don't see you tomorrow,